Management Summit will be the start of an ongoing process of inclusive and complementary engagement and growth. Moreover, for the participants, the summit provides a platform to identify emerging trends and explore new opportunities. May I invite Dr. A. Vishwanathan and the distinguished guests onto the dais. I request you to brief about the program and deliver the introductory address.
Good morning. Respected key speakers of the summit, our invited guests and dignitaries, members of the TKM College Trust, our director, executive director and founder director of TKM Ship Management, colleagues, executives from the industry, teachers, entrepreneurs, media representatives, government officials, and other dignitaries. It is my great pleasure to welcome you all for this National Level Management Summit 2013 organized by TKM Institute of Management. The theme is Business Excellence, Learn from the Thought Leaders. As you all know, this summit provides a platform for the participants to interact with the thought leaders and gain rich insights about contemporary management practices which have enabled these companies to achieve excellence in business. Pursuit of excellence is a soul elevating experience. It gives you a deep sense of inner fulfillment and achievement satisfaction of providing superior value to all the stakeholders. If you analyze the history of all these successful companies, you know that pursuit of excellence is the key success factor for their eminent position in the industry. They have visionary leadership, they have total employee involvement, and excellent process management. In TKM Institute of Management, we believe industry-institute interaction is the key success factor for giving our management students an industry-focused training and transforming them into professionals sought after by the industry. As part of our industry-institute interaction, we have regular interaction with the key practicing managers every week. Tuesday afternoon is set up for that. This particular national event has been organized involving the leading luminaries of top corporate leaders for the benefit of not only our students but students of our sister institutions, other colleges, industry participants, entrepreneurs and the like. Today we have tried to bring together top level managers from 4 leading corporates of India: Reliance Anil Dhirubhai Ambani Group, Lucas TVS, Thomas Cook and Thermo Penpol Limited. 2 companies, Lucas TVS and Thermo Penpol, are in the manufacturing domain, and the other 2 companies, Thomas Cook and Reliance, are in the service domain. You know, Reliance is the biggest corporate group in India. Reliance Anil Dhirubhai Ambani Group has alone assets over 1,80,000 crores, and the employee strength is over 1 lakh. The Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Abhinav Ghosh, is one of the key resource persons for the summit. Lucas TVS is the #1 auto electric product manufacturer in India. It is part of the famous TVS group, employing more than 25,000 people. You know, 4 out of 5 vehicles in India are fitted with Lucas TVS auto electrical parts. Lucas TVS has achieved the coveted world famous Deming Grand Prize for Total Quality Management. The company employs all contemporary management practices, including total quality management, total predictive maintenance, Six Sigma, zero defect program, single piece layout, all those things. And I had the good fortune of spending 1 week in Lucas TVS Limited in 2007 as part of my PhD program to study total quality management. I was impressed by the excellent management practices in Lucas TVS. Dr. Ravi Chandran, the Executive Director of Lucas TVS, is one of the leading lights of total quality movement in India. He had kindly agreed to lead the first technical session. In fact, he's a very, very busy man. He had in fact decided to fly to Europe immediately after the summit. But due to last minute changes, another important overseas business delegation is in Chennai today, and he had to stay back. And he is instead flying to Europe on Monday. So he has deputed his eminent colleague and another team leader in Lucas TVS, Mr. Uday Chandran, the Vice President of Lucas TVS, to handle the first technical session. Thomas Cook is a global leader in travel and tourism industry with over 150 years of history. They are also into financial services space. Mr. Mohan Krishnan, Vice President and National Sales Head, is one of the key resource persons of this management summit. Thermo Pengold, as you know, is a world-class manufacturer of medical devices such as blood bags, blood component extraction equipment, etc., which are exported to over 80 countries in the world. Their Executive Director, Mr. Padma Kumar, had agreed to be one of the key resource persons. Now, with great pleasure, I welcome Sri Uday Chandran, Vice President Lucas TVS, to this summit and for leading the first technical session. Mr. Uday Chandran is widely respected for his contribution to the total quality management movement and achievement of Deming Prize. It's a great honor to have you here, sir.
When you communicate in Indian language, there is no response. When you communicate in English, you have good response. Why I say this, when we started this PKM movement, somewhere in early 90s, the JIT laboratory chairman from Tokyo, Mr. Hirano, visited Lucas TVS. He is one of the most very costliest consultants from Japan. Some of our executive director, Mr. Dr. N. Ravichandran, he got hold of him, he brought to Lucas TVS. And he visited India, I think it was the first occasion or second occasion that time. He was the most wanted consultant among all third world countries, including Europe. With great difficulty, when we got him, when he came to India, the Lucas was the first company to visit. It was put by Dr. Ravichandran. He made a comment during the first session. He said, I have been thinking and planning to come to India many times because there are so many things to learn from India. Because for everything, whatever you talk, whether it is a politics or literature or science or philosophy, for everything, India is a country which has given the role model for the whole world. There was a time the whole world was learning from India. Now you Indians are waiting for others to come and teach you. Especially when you see the architectural beauty of India, the Indian temples, the Taj Mahal and all. I don't think that you Indians have learned quality from others. Because can you imagine the architecture of Indian temples? You take for example the Taj Mahal even. There is not even one corner you can take for dimensional deviations or imbalance or out of proportion. Do you think that without any quality thinking or quality philosophy or quality science, your ancestors could build such beautiful buildings and architectures? India is filled with pockets of excellence. India itself as a country is not excellent, but India is filled with pockets of excellence. But still you have a problem with the quality. He asked us. Can anyone now tell me what is the problem in India? Many people said many reasons. He said no problem is the reason for quality in India. No problem. The no problem attitude of the people. The chalta attitude. There is a small scratch in the car, in the bend. He says, it's okay. The acceptance, the tolerance to quality levels, the attitude of the mindset which as earlier was there, it is not there today. Whatever you had in the past, you have unlearned, Indians. They have unlearned. And many foreigners like Britishers, those who came to India, they have accelerated the process of unlearning what were the good things, good practices we had. Now we started learning again those good practices. And Mr. Kirano said one more thing from the observations what I had in 2 days. It was only third day session this evening. He said you Indians are all very brilliant, excellent. And in Japan, individually we are not very excellent people or brilliant people like Indians. You ask so many questions. We in Japan, once there some standard procedure is given, we blindly follow it. We blindly follow it. That is why we make quality. But you people have got brilliant ideas. Every time, everywhere, everybody is questioning everything. That is why you don't make quality. He's a professional speaker and orator, and is a well-known personality and star speaker, especially on this topic, PPM. And I am not a professional orator or speaker. I am a pure shop floor, hardcore engineer. And very rarely I visit such occasions and share my knowledge and experience. So I should thank your organizers for accepting me in place of Dr. Ravichandran. And I don't know how far I am going to do justice in replacing Dr. Ravichandran. And the whole presentation was prepared by Dr. Ravichandran because he wanted to learn from the content of this presentation. The first, what he wanted that before we talk about quality movement, all of us should understand the scenario in which today we are doing our business. The business scenario, what was in 1960s and 70s, and the business scenario today has dramatically changed. Because the customer requirements, earlier the business was led by or dictated by producers, and today the market is dictated by customers. The demanding customer requirements and the challenges because of economic mergers, joint ventures, globalization, privatization, and continuous cost reduction norms. Nowadays, the cost reduction has become one of the prime objectives of all the organizations if they want to survive in the market. Companies like Maruti, they come out with terms and conditions with Lucas TVS. They want continuous price reduction for next 3 years. They set target in next 3 years you have to reduce the price for another 10%, and they asked us to give us a plan. Otherwise, they don't guarantee you the business for next 3 years. Earlier, Lucas TVS, when it was a monopoly in 1970s and 80s, Lucas TVS was the only company in India meeting the auto electrical requirements of all the auto manufacturers, whether it is alternator, starter motor, wiper motor, distributor, whatever it is. Lucas TVS is the only company to meet all the requirements. That time the customer used to come and sit in our gate with the cash. In the United States, the effect is seen in Chennai. Something happens in Europe, the effect is seen in Mumbai, the share market. So the increasing interconnectivity, increasing interdependence, decreasing ability to forecast and plan and control. All of you must be knowing that the Indian industry is now undergoing that economic recession now, which was not foreseen by many industries, including ours. We heard of 400 crores last year. but we could not reach even the 600 crores, which was not forecasted by the marketing department. The economic slowdown process, what we are advised is to command and control the manpower, and today leaders have to only empower and coach the others. Shareholders were everything, now the customers come first. Production determined the availability and quality determines everything now. Everyone was competitor, and today everyone is customer. Even our competitor becomes a customer because of joint ventures and mergers. So everyone is as a customer now. Earlier value was extra. Whatever was the manufacturing cost, you can add the value and sell it in the market, because the selling price was fixed by the manufacturers. Today the selling price is not fixed by the manufacturer. Selling price is fixed by the market. So value is everything. Unless we add value, you cannot sell in the market. If you don't sell in the market, you have to sell your factory. If the products are not sold, the factory has to be sold. So the companies and the business which have understood this changing scenario and their business planning towards that have survived. Ultimately, what has happened, many industries, when Lucas TVS was started, the Ambattur Industrial Estate in Chennai, there are about 40-50 companies like Dunlop, which had a very glorious past. Today, many of those companies are not existing today. Quality, the process quality came next. This was a period of stabilization. After that, the rapid change in the concept changed. Quality, innovation process, then quality of organizational change, design. This is where we talk about total quality. When we talk about total quality, this is not a total component or total manufacturing quality. It is a total organizational quality. If we talk about total quality management, the company, those who are practicing TQM, the quality systems and practices, faith and belief start from the gate. From the person who opens the gate in the main security, the quality concepts have to be practiced and demonstrated. And it has to be accepted by the entire mass. So for fulfilling customer expectations today has become a task, because earlier if you are able to sell some component at a cheaper rate, you are able to get some market. If you are able to improve upon, the continuous improvement is the third requirement for a PKM company. And the fourth one is the employee involvement, total employee involvement. That they call it as PEI, because that is a foundation for any company which believes in TQM. Stability. So as I told you, the concept of quality has evolved during the period in last 70 to 80 years in different ways. But ultimately we decided to go with the Japanese PQM way. And these are the basic steps which are essential for PQM. This one: customer orientation, participation, training, motivation, products and services, process and procedures, information, supplies, culture, planning, communication and accountability. So with this PQM objective, the customer focus, customer fit and product and fit and service. As I told you earlier, nowadays the customers demand all the three together: the cheapest, quickest and the best. So that is why all the three are to be met by the PQM companies. The future quality system, how it is going to be changed from the current scenario. Customer, earlier the customer satisfaction was the only requirement. Now today the customer loyalty has to be built in if you want to sustain your business. And the management means it was our leadership stressed, and today it's inspiring leadership. There is no leader, you cannot dictate the employees. Today the leadership has to be the inspiring one to help people to reach their full potential. And employees, earlier they were all fear driven. Today too, empowerment and freedom, joy in the workplace. The workplace has to be liked by the workman. Organization, it has to be a flat pyramid, teams of building blocks. Earlier it was a vertical structure. And the systems we had all standard ISO, QS, and today everyone needs the best world class systems, whether it is manufacturing, whether it's a quality systems or marketing or design. They want what is the best system available in this world. And the tools, problem solving techniques and tools like Shining, DOE, PFD, TPM, whatever is available, everything is practiced. Design. You have to design to the customer's requirement. Half the time, the new product development is done in 50% of the earlier time. With the 50% of the defects what we placed earlier, at half of the price, with the better efficiency. Suppliers, earlier they were only a supplier and buyer relationship. Today the suppliers are treated like our business partners. We used to have the suppliers who treat them as a win-win situation with mutual agreements, mutual beneficial business partnership relationships. Manufacturing with the lean concepts. So these are all the concepts which have been taught by various gurus. I have just summarized it. Mapadi is a mother plant started in 1963. After that, 2 plants we have in Pondicherry and 1 plant in Chakan near Pune and 1 plant in Rewari and another plant in Uttaranchal. And all these plants were set to meet the customer requirements. Where the customers are clustered, all the locations are decided to meet the customer's requirements. And this is the vision and the vision. All the TChem companies, they have to declare the vision. So this is our vision set by our CMD, Mr. T.K. Balaji, to be a respected supplier of global auto industry by developing innovative products and solutions valued to customers using contemporary technologies and creative skills and involvement of our employees, suppliers and other partners. Through these initiatives, Lucas TVS expects to contribute to auto industry and Indian society. And this is the vision of for 2050. Vision is nothing but our journey, the milestones, how we are going to achieve our vision. And this is Dr. N. Ravichandran, the man who is instrumental and has triggered many improvements in Lucas TVS. In fact, this session was supposed to be handled by him. I am just representing him. See, this is the pictorial scenario when the company was 25 years old, 1985. When the Indian companies, all the Indian companies believed only in traditional conventional manufacturing concepts, and they used to have all these traditional defects like high inventories, waiting for materials, machine breakdowns, manufacturing issues, tooling problems, part shortage, defects, rejections. So this was the same scenario in Lucas TVS 85. And these are all the problems what we had scenario. High varieties, low volume. And in 85 this scenario came because of Maruti's invasion in India. Maruti came to India, then only the real revolution took place in Indian manufacturing industries, because otherwise all the automobile industries, they used to talk about only their volumes in hundreds and thousands. The Maruti first, they declared functions. All the support functions were centralized. They were detached from the main production activity, and all the support functions were made. We had an auxiliary department to the production, and all the central services were decentralized, like utility services, maintenance, tool room, production engineering. All the departments were decentralized and attached to production. Nagara experiments. Operators, those who were working for 20-30 years for one single machine, were trained and made to operate 3 machines at a time, taking a cell of 3 machines together. That is called Nagara experiments. And product quality improvement. Containerization to improve the Kanban levels. Kanban control, container controls.
You see the founder T.V. Sundaram Iyengar and T.S. Krishna and T.S. Srinivasan, former chairman of the company. What you see in the open office is helps better communication. We are now going to the factory. We are received by the mission and vision. What you see is the quality philosophy of the company and the environment policy. You also see the approaches we are taking for manufacturing. These are the products: two-wheeler start motors, distributors, ignition coil, internal fan alternators, and gear reduction starter. This is a view of the factory. There are various lines and various products. This is a two-wheeler starter motor with multi-model, which follows all the principles of cellular manufacture, or otherwise we call it as just in time. You see the way the people move around from start to finish in a multi-process style. This is another line. This is a dual distributed less ignition assembly line. This is internal fan alternator line. You can see the linkages from sub-assemblies to main assembly to the full assembly. And we can now see the operation in single piece flow multi-process handling by the girls. The girl moved from first operation to the second, to the third, to the fourth, to the fifth. Like that she does 28 stages. Finally she dispatches the alternator. This is one of the stations where a bearing is assembled to the D bracket. The station is equipped with load cells and Pocoyotes. We have built a lot of low-cost automation machines so that the cost of the product is low. And decision rule is given to the operator. No, it is given to the machine so that you see green is okay. This is another stage where she assembles the retainer plate to a D bracket. We call this arrangement as shuttle mechanism. The next stage is automatic testing of the alternator, where the operator loads the alternator, walks away, and it's a computer test rig, checks the alternator for performance at different speeds, checks the output. If it is okay, there's an auto marking that's taking place, and the alternator is ready for movement to the next stage, where customer fitting dimensions are checked. After checking all important dimensions, the operator applies a tally mark ensuring that he checked all the dimensions, and then she puts it onto the packing box. And she is also responsible for putting the label, and now she will transfer the box for onward dispatch to the customer. Again she starts from stage 1. This is another line as I said earlier. This chaku chaku. Chaku chaku means loading manually, unloading automatic. This helps to improve productivity of the total manufacturing system. What you see here is the component after going through the operation automatically comes forward. There's a gripper which picks it up, loads it onto an unloading station. Next, we are moving to the TQM practices. We start with the TQM corner, which exhibits the policy of the unit head and the department policy and all the relevant forms and all the relevant information. What you see is unit head's policy and relevant forms like Form 1, Form 2, and this is the annual policy that is under review. And this is where the periodical review takes place by the President every quarter with the operating team at Pondicherry to review the gaps and the countermeasures so that we always meet the target. This is a group exercise. This you see in the shop floor, what we call DRM, Daily Routine Work Management, where the line manager conducts meeting with the engineers, auditors and workers for improvement. Now we are moving to an operation where the worker in the grinding operation follows an SOP, which is called Standard Operating Procedure, which tells how to do the job. She also checks the component herself and uses an electronic gauge for checking the dimension and records it in an SPC chart. This gives better process control. There is a process audit which takes place with the auditor every 1 hour on important dimensions to ensure the processes are the right spec. There is a POCOIK verification chart where every day before the shift starts, the POCOIK masters are verified. Important stations, we have trained operators who are authorized to operate so that the quality is ensured. And there is also a total daily audit report of the entire line by the auditor. It's very important to have a tool management. What you see is a tool management system. We move on to human resources. We believe best people only can give best performance. So we have an education and training center, and at the moment you can see a training class is going on, TQM. It's an interactive session by the trainer with the people who are being trained. This is done for all the employees at periodical intervals. We move on to small group activity, which is otherwise called QCC or Quality Control Circle. A circle member is explaining a cause and effect diagram. The name of the circle is Creative Eyes. We also encourage employees suggesting for improvement. An employee is putting a suggestion form which is kept in the shop floor, and suggestions are rewarded for best ideas. Because the factory is located in a village, we provide transport to collect employees from their houses at the beginning of the shift, and also we take responsibility to drop them at the end of the shift. We have a well-equipped, excellent canteen where all the people dine at the same time. We provide food meeting the calendar prepared in a hygienic environment to keep our employees healthy and happy. We also have an excellent medical center which is headed by a resident doctor who provides services to employees both on periodical and preventive basis. We have created an excellent baby care center which provides employees to leave their children during working hours. There are 2 nurses to take care of them, and this helps employees to concentrate on their work during working hours. What you see is recognition of excellent performance. This is for the month of July, where Pondicherry gets the President Award. Next, we move on to the environment. We believe in greener environment because we believe good environment creates good culture in the organization. It's not a park, it's a part of the factory. We also ensure good water is provided to people to highest standard for drinking. The next important belief we have is community development. And what you see here is free medical checkup for people around the village. And this is done annually. We also conduct periodical dental camps and eye camps. And we have once in a year family day, that is what we call Ayudha Puja Day, where people come and spend time in the factory, and awards are given to winners of various contests conducted during that period. And it's all possible because of total involvement of the employee, and we can say the proud team behind this success story. And the success is revealed by the feelings and comments expressed by our visitors from various countries, from various factories and various organizations. And every one of them have benchmarked this factory as a world-class factory. Thank you for being with us for this presentation.
Seeing is believing. That is why instead of theory sessions and showing the slides, I thought better to show this video which was taken for something, for some purpose. And especially this Pondicherry unit is very unique. The factory has got near about 1,000 employees. All are 10th pass girls from the remote villages. And the girls are taken and they are given intensive training for 1 year and they are given permanent employment and they are all earning around 15 to 20,000 rupees. The 10th pass village girls, that is something unique the factory has done for social development in that area, Pondicherry, the backward area. Thank you. The design, marketing, service, manufacturing process, something unique which is specific to the industry. So we demonstrated that rural development for the Pondicherry unit, and for our mother plant in Chennai, Padi unit, we quoted the voluntary work teams as something unique for the industries. This voluntary work team concept was evolved by accident by Dr. Ravichandran. On a regular weekend holidays, some workers used to come for duty, and he also accompanies them for some special meetings on Sundays. And it was somewhere in 2002-2003, on a Sunday when the workers were there in the factory, there was a India-Pakistan match, a cricket match. So most of the workers in the factory, they were all discussing and asking the managers to give some letters about the command score. So many people were trying to contact Ravichandran, he was in the office. Because at that time, not many people are having that approach and access to the score in the factory. Cell phones are not much used in 2001-2002. And 2-3 groups disturbed him. He called all of them. He asked, "Why people are so nervous today?" He said, "Today India is playing with Pakistan, so we are all nervous. What happened? So we would like to know the status. What is the score for all these things?" I appreciate that you are all having so much fear for India's losing or winning the match. What way your fear or your wastage of time is going to help Indian team to win the match? You are all wasting your time running and searching for a score. They said, no, this is our country, or this is our team, this is a prestige for India, all those things there. He said, well, you have got so much pain for India losing the match, that way against Pakistan. But do you have any pain like that for the industry, for the company, from where you are earning your bread and butter daily? After all, this is a company which has given you everything. You, the employees, have put almost 20 to 30 years of service. Most of our children are now in abroad, because in TVS, if you take out of some 1,500 workers, at least some 1,000 workers have sent their children with higher studies to abroad. Most of them are in Canada, US or UK. That is a status the company has given to the workers. They are all just high school pass those days. And he asked, you are earning everything from this company. What you are today in the society, the status what you have in the society is given by the company. And you want to give to this company back only in duty hours. And even a single minute out of duty, you want OT. So this is the attachment and the real contribution you have for the organization, from where you have gained everything this day. So like that, he triggered some thoughts in them and he left, because he told all these things in anger. But these things had a spark in some of the employees. Next day morning, some 22 employees came forward with a list of some workers. They said, "Sir, we some 22 people are there. We are ready to come and work on a holiday. We will come on a holidays or weekend on Sundays, and we will do something for the organization, not related to our department or work spot. You tell whatever you want. If you want us to clean the machine, we will clean. You want us to sweep the floor, I will sweep. You want us to paint the floor and wall, we will paint. You tell us something which can improve the status of the company." The team started with 42 employees, workers came, volunteered themselves to do something out of their work spot. And he also motivated them. And from the next Sunday, he said they were given a session on 5S, shop floor 5S. What is 5S? You must have heard about 5S, no? So what is 5S? How the 5S helps the company to ensure or sustain the quality levels, improve the productivity levels. Then they were asked to do some 5S improvements in the shop floor. The improvements they did in 1S and 2S and 3S activities, it is beyond our imagination. The workers, those who are operating just the simple machines for 15-20 years, they came out. I will show you the examples of those videos and the models what they have made for master samples. The tool racks, tool cupboards, reduction of changeover timings, machine improvements like TPM, how to reduce the cleaning time in the machine, how to reduce the inspection time in the machines. All these innovative ideas came out from the workers. They were all just 10th and 12th pass. And before, we would have never heard, even in Japan. Japan people are very sincere, patriotic, law-abiding citizens. But nobody can work just either voluntarily without money. And you are showing something magic, and I don't understand. You don't believe this concept. And next time when we come, I don't think this movement will be there. You can't even sustain this movement. There is no industry or company in the world who can get the work without giving anything benefit. It was the case in 2004, but they gave the highest mark to Lucas TVS only to this uniqueness, the voluntary work team concept. That is why I want you to see this video for 5 minutes. If you have any questions, I will answer those questions after the video shot. Yeah. Thank you.
The holidays, sparing their home time. The same, after seeing these machine improvements and 5S improvements, the workforce has now developed into a 600 member strong team of people, and about 500 to 600 employees have now volunteered, and they are coming on this Sunday voluntary work team on holidays and Sundays.
Which is headed by a steering committee chairman, which meets every week and decides the activities and also the resources required for these activities.
The total amount of savings that has been brought out crosses 9,000 plus license and amounting to 96.4 lakhs. This culture has now slowly started spreading to our corporate companies, and even our suppliers have started following this culture. SGA, known elsewhere as Quality Circus, is a Friday event. The small group activity members, 5 per team, solve work-related problems in the QC story format by application of 7 QC tools. Yes, we have consistently 99.5% participation, and every employee is a part of 2 teams per minimum every year. The employee engagement initiative, besides solving problems, also includes teamwork, communication skills, morale, etc. The rest of the teams compete in external competitions like CII, ACMA, QCFI, etc. 18 teams so far got opportunity to compete in the international QC competition as well. This movement is sustained since 25 years.
activities, the quality circles. They do various improvements, and the management is not worried about the cost savings done by these quality circles. Mainly, management gives importance to the local problems, how they select the problems, how they are taught to identify the root cause of the problems, how they are able to use the problem-solving techniques and tools in their work spots. Even then, there are some savings. On an average, some years it is some 80 to 70 lakhs, 97 lakhs it was told, I think. The main the requirement is to involving all the people. We want to ensure that 100% involvement at all levels. For the workers, we have quality sectors in the name of small group activities. For the engineers, we have QIT, quality improvement teams for engineers and managers. And we encourage all the engineers as well as the workers to come out with at least 2 presentations per year. Each engineer should be a part of 2 presentations in the year, quality improvement teams. Same thing with the workers. At least 2 presentations from the quality cycle they should make in a year. Once they make, we call it as 100% involvement of all the employees.
One more question. This quality circle movement you have implemented in Tamil Nadu, but you have got plans all over India. So, would it be, is it part of Tamil Nadu culture, or were you able to replicate in other states also?
See, in fact, in Chennai, being a mother plant, 50 years old plant, we had some difficulties in driving certain things related to these concepts. But from day one, we implemented all these best practices in other sites. It was easy for us to implement in Uttaranchal, in Chakan, in Ruwari, in Pondicherry. One unit was started in 1991, the second unit was started in 2005. In all the unit plants which we started after 2005, it was easy for us to implement all these concepts from day one. For example, in our new plants in Ruwari, Uttaranchal and Chakan, and Trivandrum, Pondicherry, the employees, they start the shift after telling the JIT's 10 commandments as a prayer daily. They repeat the 10 JIT commandments and then they go to the work spot and do it. Because so that this is injected into their blood, so that the quality or the system of PPM becomes a way of life. So it is easy for us to implement in other sites from day one. Yeah.
Sir, I have a question. Do you think that Indian culture acts as a hindrance? Sir, here. Sir, up. Sir, do you think that Indian culture acts as a hindrance for TQM when compared to a country like Japan?
Yes. What is your question now?
Sir, do you think that Indian culture, our Indian culture acts as a hindrance for TQM when compared to a country like Japan?
Yes. See, when I started my session, this is what I meant. In fact, the Indian culture was quality based. The Indians, they only taught quality in many areas of science, philosophy, and everywhere they taught quality in this thing. And we have unlearned everything. And today, as the Japanese, they themselves indicate that this is the only mindset you have to change. It's only a mindset. As individuals, we are all excellent. But as a team, we are nowhere near Japan. That is why when we talk about total quality, it is not only product quality, it is not a design quality, it is not a drawing quality, it is not a machine quality, it is not a software quality, this is a total quality. Total means starting from the gate to the top executive, to the contract casuals. All the processes in the factory, because in PPM, all the functions are divided into various processes. And each and every process should have a defined procedure and systems. So it's a total quality involving the product, process, method and toolings, everything. And this total quality means organizational design. And Japan, they became a great success because they did not even talk about design of product or process or the company. They talked about the country. They designed the system which can bring the whole Japan into a quality system. That is why the law-abiding citizens, we call them Japanese as law-abiding citizens. And they are proud to say themselves as we are law-abiding citizens. In the night, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, when there is nobody on the streets, the Japanese, they believe in the traffic rules. They believe that the traffic signals and rules are made for the safety of the people. So they simply switch off the engine and they wait until the green signal comes. How many of us we follow those signals in the system here? Even in daytime, we don't wait for even the orange light to come, yellow, green to fall. Nobody is there on the street, we simply switch on and get away. There is no policeman on the street. That is why they work for the total, means not even the organization, they work for the total country. The whole country has become disciplined, the whole country has been taught to live in a systematic quality way. The quality has become a way of life in Japan, and that is the problem here. That we have to bring and teach the quality standards and principles from the childhood. The quality systems has to be taught from the childhood, from the house. The parents are the first teachers for teaching the discipline and quality. Then only the organizations have become, and it's easy for to sustain the levels. Because even these PKM companies and the TPM companies, once they get the award, for the initial 2-3 years, they are able to sustain all the levels. After 4th or 5th year, they slowly the levels got deteriorated. The standards got deteriorated. That is why even this PKM award, now they have started introducing new awards. PKM application prize was the only one. Then they started with the Devin Gold Prize. Now they are going for Japan Quality Medal. All these new names are given so that the people continuously follow the systems, continuously follow the principles, so that the systems are not deteriorated, so that the systems are not been brought down from the existing standards. That is the only purpose of introducing various levels of application prices. Otherwise, we are not learning nothing new from this DGP award. Once we got this TKM in 2004, we could have stopped it. We went for DGP in 2012 just to demonstrate to the Japanese that we are still continuing those practices. We are not allowed the system to deteriorate. Now we are going for another next third level after 3 years. It is just to prove ourselves that we don't deteriorate. That's all. Thank you, sir.
Morning, sir. I represent the industry and I have a question. Thank you for making this wonderful presentation. We have always looked upon TVS as pathbreaking in many ways. I got interested in a point which you mentioned en route in your presentation, where you said way back in '84 when you decided to take a stand on changing in accordance with the industry in India, you decided to follow the Japanese system. And then during the presentation you also spent some time explaining the fact that the world today is changing. Your marketing department at some point of time could not forecast the changing global economic scenario. Today you have competition changing, actually competitors merging together to form industry alliances. So I got interested and I wanted to ask you, there are two parts to my question. So my first part is, do you still believe that the Japanese system is the system that you have to follow? And my second part is, and if you don't think so, do you in the future plan to go in for a new way of thinking, and is it going to be still Japanese or some other system?
This is not a Bhagavad Gita or Bible that this cannot be changed. In 95-96, when we thought of going for a PKM system, and there were many philosophies, and our management thought we have many things common with Japanese, in Indian system. We have culturally and way of life, the God belief, faith and religions. There are many things which are common to Japanese and Indians. And that is why management thought, and the success stories of Japanese countries. Whoever talks about best manufacturing practices, they quote what? TPS, Toyota Production System. Toyota Production System is the role model for everything. You talk about JIT, they quote TPS. You talk about people involvement, they quote TPS. So whatever the best manufacturing systems or concepts they have, only you have success stories or models only from Japan in the last 20 years. And there is no model, any role model from American countries or any other European countries. That is why our management thought it's another one. The total means that only the Japanese concept really led us to believe that yes, it is total. It involves the entire employees, starting from the security guard to chief executives. The system involves, and all the processes in the industry, manufacturing industries, all the processes are getting integrated. The whole factory is aligned. The main purpose of PKM is that the whole factory is aligned. All the employees are aligned. Not that each individual has got his own MOP, measure of performance. Each department cannot have its individual measure of performance. Each and every employee, every HOD, every department has to work towards the company's objectives. So that we could see in a matter of 1 year that the whole factory can be aligned following these PKM principles and concepts. That is why we went for it.
are you going forward, do you still believe this?
So far it is very helpful. We are getting results out of this. It may change over a period, but I cannot forecast that.
Thank you.
Sir, I have a question. Actually, there are two questions. Lord, during your speech, you mentioned that now the customers want the highest quality product at the lowest price. What do you think that concept is a utopian concept, or DQM can really transform this kind of thing? That's my first question. Second question is, you're talking about Toyota quality. Toyota has achieved Six Sigma. But now they say that they are going to bring it down to 5 Sigma, because bringing it up from 5 Sigma to 6 Sigma is very expensive, so the cost is going up. So to bring down the cost, they are actually reducing the quality. How do you explain that?
See, quality also cost. That is why where the customer requirement or the form, fit and function requirement is there, only to that extent the quality has to be ensured. Even in our cases, there are some cases where the surface finishes are required, only some 20 microns. Whereas we used to use some CNC machines because the machine was available. There was no need to make that component using a CNC machine. We could have made that component with the ordinary lathe, cylindrical or this conventional cuction lathe, but we are using a CNC lathe. The same PKM engineers, they consulted their code, they suggested, oh, you are wasting money with the CNC machine. Particular product does not require this much of finish. The higher quality is also a cost to the factory. That is why once you realize the finish what you are giving, the paint what you are giving is not required by the customer to this extent, you have got every right to reduce the quantity, thereby reducing the manufacturing cost. So that you only decide. And second thing, it is a fact that customer wants everything together: cost, delivery, and quality. All the three factors you are able to meet at a time, you are the best and you will have sustained the market. If you have anything one out of this, you can have some example. For example, normally we used to go in Chennai. There are some hotels known for some items. So it's the best quality, even if the cost is more, people travel and go and take the food. Because there are some people they will prefer for the quality. There are some people that travel to some hotels and take some food because you get a cheaper food there. You get full meals for 5 rupees. So the customers' requirements are different. If you got segment of customers, those who are cheapest product, somebody wants the fastest product, somebody wants the best product.
Does it affect the productivity of the employees for the rest of the week? And is it also affecting the quality of their life? Because you are taking away the only one weekend towards the company's work. Second question, most of us are following the Japanese models. Okay, from the learning curve TVS went through, do we already have, or can we expect in the near future some models or concepts that can be replicated elsewhere?
After seeing the employees' enthusiasm, all those people understand. So we have taken care that
more than 74% people are working ladies. So, as you said, it is as part of your social commitment in connection with incorporating them in the neighborhood villages. So, it is the one reason why these type of employees are putting there. For my first question, and second one, such type of representation are we able to see in your high-level administrative style? Or my third question, it is as part of your total quality management process. So, these are 3 questions I want to clarify.
When the Pondicherry plant was started, second plant, we were only asked by the government to start in a remote area, backward area. They wanted to develop some backward area, so they asked TVS Group to invest somewhere this thing. We decided to invest in Pondicherry. And the village which has got no road connections to the main road, there is no connection to the highways and all. When the company was started, it took almost 1 hour travel by 2-wheelers to reach the spot. Now it is developed, all the road connectivity is made. You can go by vehicle, car and bus. There are bus transport facilities are available there. It is such a remote village, and the Puducherry government wanted us to develop the surrounding areas. This one, and even now, there are only Lucas TVS. In addition to Lucas TVS, there are some very few companies that have come up there, and all those companies have started using the same culture what we started. They're taking the village girls 10th pass giving them specific technical training for 1 year, and they are absorbed by the company, and they are more systematic than the boys, and they don't deviate. They strictly follow the SOP given by the management. Like boys, they don't deviate. Their rejections and defects produced by the girls are much better than the boys compared to our other plants.
Yeah, shall we able to see such type of representation in your panel management or administrative staff?
Not that much, because in Pondicherry, the working level, there are 100% girl employees, but in higher level, hardly it will be some 10-15% only.